Namaste. Welcome to the Group 1 Services Guidance classes telecasted by 𝗬𝗏. We are discussing about the ICT, the basics in computers, robotics, nanotechnology and communications. In this series, we are going to discuss about the basics of the computers. As you know it, without computer, imagine our life, nowadays it's very difficult. In all areas of our life, communication, digital transactions, banking, agriculture, medical, in all the fields, without computer, you can't do anything. So, basic knowledge about the computer is an essential thing for each and everyone, not only for preparation of your Group 1 services, but also it's a basic need to all of us to learn about this. So, I think you are going to learn about these basics of computer in a proper way. Okay. So, what is basic? Basic of a computer. What is computer? That's a very important. A computer is an electronic device that receives input, stores or processes the input as per user instructions and provides output in desired format. It's an electronic device. So, what you are giving the information as an input, it processes according to our required desires or instructions and gives the output as per our desired format. If you want to prepare a PPT, if you want to do a digital transaction, if you want to perform an activity, or if you want to narrate a robotic, all these things will done by these computers. Okay. So, before going to know about what a computer, actually the computer, just you are seeing the screen, it looks like as shown in the screen here. So, a computer, as we have three areas, that is input device, output device and simply called as central processing unit, CPU. So, when you see this, this is the input unit and the whole thing will be considered as a CPU. You know that the whole thing, you know that this is CPU and next one is output unit. So, if you see this, the whole thing will be considered as a CPU, central processing unit. In the central processing unit, you have arithmetic logical unit to perform the arithmetic operations, to perform the logical performance, and next one is control unit, which control the total computer operations. The one more thing is here, this one actually this is a memory. This one is a memory, okay, and the other one is output unit. Clear? So, a computer means it has three parts basically. One is input unit, second one is central processing unit, and the third one is output unit. In central processing unit, we have three parts, that is arithmetic logical unit, we call it as ALU also sometimes. The control unit, the last one is memory. Okay, there is a temporary memory, a permanent memory. We will discuss all those things. Okay, now what is the basic parts of computer? We will discuss in a clear mode. The first one is input unit. The device like a keyboard, mouse that are used to give the input data and instructions to the computer, simply they are called input unit. So, we are seeing this keyboard. So, we have in keyboard we have alphabets, numericals, symbols. By typing all these things into as an input data to the computer. The second one, if you see this one is the mouse. So, here the mouse simply we have even nowadays we have a digital mouse also, we have means remote mouse also you have it. So, means if you want to select something, so generally we are using the mouse, and by using mouse a cursor is moving and the next one is joystick and trackball, microphone, webcam, touch screen. So actually the Wacom is now as a touch screen, you can use it. All are using touch screen mobiles, correct? Smartphones. A smartphone is nothing but a simple computer. The scanner. All these comes as input devices, means which gives the data and instructions to the computer. That instrument is called input unit. Okay. Now shifting to the next one is output unit. So means the device like printer, visual display unit, and that are used to provide information to the user in desired format is called output unit, as you know it. The monitor. So what I am going to do, that will be appears on the monitor. So what you give a command to print, that will, so printer will be considered as an output unit. And headphones is an output unit. The screen projector is an output unit. And GPS location is an output unit. The plotter, if you want to print different big screens, okay. So those big flexes, generally we use this plotter. So plotter is an output unit, and video card is also an output unit. So these are the outputs. So the aspirant has to learn which device is said to be an input device and which device is considered as a output device. That kind of information is very, very important. Okay. Now coming to the next one, a control unit. Already I said control unit is a part of central processing unit, as you know it. So as the name suggests, this unit totally controls all the functions of the computer. All devices or parts of the computer interact through this control unit. See, this is a control unit. Already printed circuit is there, correct? So printed circuit is there. This one we will call it as a control unit of a computer. Okay. So means it controls the total operations of the computers, and it controls all the parts of the computer. So that's the reason simply we call it as a controlling unit or control unit. Okay. Next, arithmetic logical unit. So this is actually arithmetic logical unit, we call it as a brain of the computer, where all arithmetic operations and logical operations take place. Means arithmetic operations, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, okay, comparison, all comes under the arithmetic operations, and the logical operations means here, so analysis, interpretate, all this comes under the logical operation. All this done by in this arithmetic logic unit, and we call it as a brain of the computer. That's a very, very important. And the memory. All input data, the instructions, data interior to the process are stored in the memory. Actually, there are two kinds of memories is there. One is called a primary memory, another one is called secondary memory. Means primary memory resides within the CPU, and so primary memory will be in the CPU, whereas secondary memory is external to it. So for example, means RAM, all these generally we use it for the read-only memory, read and memory. So RAM, read and memory. So another one is ROM, read-only memory. All these things as I call the primary memories, and the secondary memory means external to it, means we will use the data cards. All this comes under the external memory. Clear? So this is the very important. Okay, next. So the control unit, arithmetic, logical unit, and memory, all these three together is called central processing unit or CPU. Already I said CPU. This is what is a full form of CPU. Sometimes they have asked central processing unit. This is the total central processing unit of a computer. This one generally we will call it as a CPU. This is the inside the CPU. This is the different circuits and how they are assembled, all these things you are observing. A computer device like keyboard, mouse, printer, etc. that we can see, touch are the hardware component. So here we call it as a keyboard, mouse, printer, all this comes, even monitor, all this comes as a hardware. The components of a computer is called simply hardware. The set of instructions or programs that make the computer functioning using these hardware parts are called software. These two words are very, very important. One is hardware and the second one is software. The instruments or the components which are using in the computer are said to be simply as a hardware, or the set of instructions or programs that make the computer functioning using these hardware components is called software. So, that is a very, very important. Okay. Now, one more word, call it as booting. So, what is booting here? So, means to start a computer embedded device is called booting. Generally, starting a computer or a computer embedded device is called a booting. Booting takes place in two steps. So, what is booting? That is a very important, and what are the different steps to boot a computer? That is to boot the computer, the first one is switching on power supply, that is the first thing. Loading operating system into computer's main memory. Keeping all applications in a state of readiness in case of needed by the user. So, once you switch on the computer, so when you switch on the power supply, so the operating system in the computer which was already loaded in the computer, that will keep all the applications in a state of readiness, if which one you want to open it. For example, you want to open Google Chrome icon, then you can, or you want to open the PPT PowerPoint presentation, you want to type something as a Word document, so that will open. So, keeping all application of the operating system is going to be ready. This process is called simply as booting. So, that word is very, very important. Okay. So, for booting here, the first program or set of instructions that run when the computer switch on it is called BIOS. So, BIOS means BIOS means basic input output system. Basic input output system. This is a very, very important. What is the BIOS? Or the program that which gives the instructions to run the computer when it switch on. That program is said to be as BIOS. BIOS, BIOS means basic input output system. Okay. And BIOS is a firmware, a piece of software permanently programmed into the hardware. So, this is a piece of software simply, it is loaded permanently programmed into the hardware. So, when you switch on it, the system is going to be start. That is called BIOS. So, next one word is called rebooting. This is called rebooting. What is rebooting? If a system is already running, but after uploading or new softwares, for example, so then simply we have to restart or reboot the computer. So, a system is already running, but needs to be restarted, that is called a rebooting. So, rebooting may be required if software or hardware has been installed, a new software is installed to the system. Generally, the system is unusually become slow. To make it as a normal position, normal conditions, generally we have to reboot, means you have to restart the computer, then again the computer comes into the normal positions. So, this is a very important. What is rebooting and when you are going to reboot the computer? These two things are very important. Okay. Next. So, actually there are two kinds of booting. One is called cold booting and the second one is called warm booting. So, cold booting means when the system is started by switching on the power supply, it is called cold booting. The next step in cold booting is loading of BIOS. So, simply just when you switch on it, the system is going to be start after getting the power supply. So, that is called cold booting, and then after starting the computer, then BIOS will load it. Okay. And warm booting, another one. When the system is already running and needs to be restarted or rebooted, it is called warm booting. Warm booting is faster than cold booting because the BIOS is not reloaded. Already a BIOS is already there. So, when system immediately start and it starts performing its functioning. Clear? Okay. So, there are two kinds of the booting. One is called cold booting and the second one is the warm booting. This is very important. So, in order to perform any task, you have to give set of instructions. That set of instructions in a particular sequence to the computer is called simply programs. So, so before going to learn any concept or any concept, whether it is a computer or a basics of computer or nanotechnology or Wi-Fi or 𝗬𝗧, whatever it may be, so or history or economics or polity, whatever it may be. So, the technical terms, awareness of the technical terms are very, very important. Once you have a clarity about the technical terms of the concerned concept, then it is easy to understand and easy to answer the questions which are going to be asked in the examinations. So, here, so booting is over. Now, we are going to discuss about program. What is program? So, in order to perform any task, you have to give the set of instructions in a particular sequence to the computer. These set of instructions are called a program. Clear? So, program means, say for example, you want to write a program, you want to print. So, you want to print an object by the 3D printer. So, 3D printer means you have to write an Arduino program. So, Arduino program means here you have to use the slicing software. In the Arduino program, you have to write how to print or what are the dimensions, all these things you have to write it. All these things will be considered as a set of instructions. They should be in order and you have to upload all these things to the system. Then only the 3D printer will work and print the object. So, the set of instructions, all these are called. So, to perform a given activity, that is called a program. Another one is software. Software refers to a set of programs that makes the hardware perform a particular set of tasks in a particular order. Clear? So, we are using a hardware, software and a program. So, here what is a program? Programming here, the set of instructions are called the program, and software, the software refers to a set of programs that makes the hardware perform a particular set of tasks in a particular order is called software. Okay, are you understand the relation between hardware, software and the program? Clear? Okay. Now, we will see the different kinds of means or classification of the softwares. So, what is the classification of software here? The software means here, so depends on the nature and functioning features of that software is be classified as two kinds. One is system software, another one is application software. System software and application of software. Application software. Again, system software is divided into two categories. One is operating system software and the another one is utilities. These two are system software, comes under system software. When it comes to application software, so application software will be classified as two kinds. One is generalized package, another one is the customized package. Clear? This is very important. This classification is very important. The softwares are classified as two basically, those are system software and application software. Again, system software is divided into two areas, two categories. One is operating system, second one is utilities. And application software has divided into two categories. One is generalized package and customized package. Now, we will see one by one what is operating systems, what are different kinds of operating system, what is operating system and what is utilities and what are the generalized packages, like we will discuss each and every one. First, system software. What is system software? When you switch on the computer, the program stored in RAM, read-only memory, are executed which activities different units of your computer and makes it ready to work for your work on it. This set of programs can be called as system software. So, when you switch on the computer, simply what is the program already stored in the read-only memory RAM are executed, which activities different units of your computer and makes it see when the system is not started. So, the basic first we have to check the whether power supply is not there. Even after when there is a proper power supply, still the system is not on, means there is a problem on RAM. So, you have to check the RAM is properly inserted or any kind of thing happens in the RAM. Means what is the reason here? So, when you switch on the computer, the program stored in the RAM is going to be executed, correct? This is the main thing. So, that set of programs can be called as a system software. Okay. When system softwares are a set of programs responsible for running the computer, correct? So, controlling various operations of the computer system and management of the computer resources. So, for this, one of the system software is called operating system, OS. So, operating system comes under this system software. Operating system, this OS means simply we call it as operating system. Okay. Now, we will see what is operating system. Operating system is a system software that provides an interface for a user to communicate with the computer, manages hardware devices, means disk, drives, keyboard, monitor, manages and maintains disk file system and supports application programs. Some popular operating systems are, so just you have to know the some popular operating systems are Unix, Windows and Linux. These are very, very important. Clear? Some popular operating systems are, so Unix is the first one, Windows, now it is a very familiar, and Linux also. So, these are the various operating systems. So, in the examination they may ask identify the operating system, which is an operating system and which is not an operating system. So, because we have operating system software names, correct, input devices, output devices, all these words are new. So, we have to identify which word comes under the which category, that is also very, very important. Okay. Now, come to the next one is utility, correct. So, utility, what is utility program? So, utility programs are broad category software such as compress, uncompress. So, when you see the computer, you have zip files, correct, you have a zip files are there. So, these zip files are called as simply as utility programs. So, these files softwares, antivirus software, split and join file software, all this comes under the utility programs or utilities. So, compress, zip files, uncompressed, unzip files, antivirus softwares, splits and join file software, all these comes as a utilities. Okay. Now, then coming to the next one is application software. Application software is a set of programs which are written to perform a specific task and classified into two categories. So, previous one is a general one, to run the computer, to perform the computer has to perform various tasks which is given by the user, but this is application software is the computer has to perform a specific task, that is a very important. So, here application software are two kinds, one is generalized packages, the second one is customized packages. So, now we will see what is the generalized packages and which comes as the customized packages. Generalized packages means here the first one is word processing software. So, simply we call it as what is word processing software? Word processing software generally we are using to prepare the documents. For example, for this word processing software you have WordPerfect, MS Word, OpenOffice.org writer. So, these are the word processing softwares. Clear? This means if you want to type a particular document, if you want to prepare a file of a set of call it as a documents. So, this word file or word processing software is used. The next one is spreadsheets. Spreadsheets generally we are using for data analysis. So, data and spreadsheets. So, we are using, especially in the Google, we are using spreadsheets to explain, to give the information, to give a presentation. So, or to give the total data in rows and columns, okay, in a tabular form. So, generally we are using these spreadsheets to conduct, especially to conduct the various examinations. All purposes we are using as spreadsheets. So, Lotus Smart Suites, MS Excel, 𝗂𝗏𝗧𝗏 calculator, Apple numbers, all comes under the spreadsheets. Okay. So, means if you want to compare and contrast of the data, if you give the differences, or if you want to compare the two things, so generally we are using Excel sheet, correct. So, if for example, if you want to enter how many students appear for one option. So, people are choosing different options. Now, there is no possible, okay. So, which option is going, for example, you want to write a Union Public Service Commission. So, there are two options, correct. So, you can select two options. So, among two options you can say which option is going to select. For example, anthropology. So, how many people are opted anthropology, or how many people are as a political science, how many people are opted as mathematics as one of the option. So, if you want to go get that all this data, generally we will make an Excel sheet. So, this comes under the spreadsheets. Next one, presentation. Presentation graphics, MS PowerPoint, 𝗂𝗏𝗧𝗏 Impress, all comes under the presentation. So, now you are viewing the lesson by using the PowerPoint presentation. So, what I am going to explain all those things, I am taking the support of PowerPoint. I collected the data, I make different slides. By using slides, I am deliberating my class. So, this with the support of MS PowerPoint. So, for MS, by using the software MS PowerPoint, so this we have to see the presentation, correct. So, this is a generalized package, means here we are going to perform a specific task, to give a presentation. So, we are using this one. And the next one is database management system. So, database management system is MS Access, 𝗂𝗏𝗧𝗏 base, MS SQL means SQL, server, Oracle. So, all these comes under the database management system. And the next one is graphic tools. So, PaintShop Pro, Adobe Photoshop. So, graphic tools are very. So, if you want to, now all are familiar with you different movies which comes with the graphics, correct. So, for performing those graphics, so graphic tools are very important. Now, come to the next one is customized packages. These are the applications that are customized or developed to meet the specific requirements for an organization or institutions. For example, student information details, payroll packages, inventory control, etc. These packages are developed using high level computer language, as you know. For example, if you take it as ICT or you want to make it as IRCTC. IRCTC, if you take, you want to book a ticket, railway ticket for a journey. So, this is one package. It's a customized package. So, that will be considered. And finally, we are coming to this one, computer languages. So, every computer language is bounded by rules known as syntax of that language. This is a very important, aspirants. This is a very important. The computer language is bounded by rules. Some rules, those rules are known as syntax. This syntax is the word is very important, and of that language, the user is bounded by that syntax while communicating with the computer system. So, the languages are two kinds. One is a low level language, another one is a high level language. So, now we discuss what is low level and high level language. So, the low level language means a machine language. This is the language in the form of zeros and ones, means 0 and 1 is called a binary digits, binary system, because computer can understand only the binary language, means understood directly by the computer. It is machine dependent. It is difficult to learn and even more difficult to write the program. So, if you want to write the total program which can be understood by the machine, so in the binary system, binary language. So, it is very difficult to write any program in the binary language. So, machine can understand what we are giving one language, for example, that will be converted into binary language, and machine can understand in that language and it will be perform the same thing here. And the second one is assembly language, means here this is the language where the machine codes comprising zeros and ones are substituted by a symbolic codes called mnemonics. So, this was mnemonics is a very important. So, mnemonics is a very important, means the comparison of 0 and 1s are substituted by symbolic codes. These symbolic codes called mnemonics to improve their understanding. It is the first step to improve the programming structure. Clearly? Yeah. So, this is a assembly language. So, we are giving the information input data, what you are giving input data that will be converted into binary system, because computer can understand only the binary language, that is called a machine language. But the computer will change with the using symbols, the symbolic codes, that is called mnemonics, and to improve the understanding. So, and high level language is simply low level language requires extension knowledge of the hardware, since it is a machine dependent, but higher level language is a computer independent and the program becomes quite easier. So, I let me give very fast in the names of the language. Basics means beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code. So, basic is one of the high level language. COBOL, a standardized language used for the commercial applications. Fortran is a formula translation. The word, these meanings are very important. COBOL means common business oriented language. Fortran means formula translation. C, structured program, and C++, a popular object orient. So, basics, COBOL, Fortran, C, C++ are the high level language. These are the basics of the computer. So, you have to practice all these words in a very clear manner, then it is very easy to understand the question which was given in the examination. Thank you.